Oh, dirty pop. Here we are. Welcome back, everybody, to the XoneBros. This is your positive gaming and Xbox community. We are remote once again. We've had to do a few of these recently, and we're back. We're remote. The reason we're remote is the one and only Mr. McSpicy has had his little spicy.
Yay!
He's had little spicy. He is now a proud father, and so he's missing us tonight because we all know what that's like. That first week of a baby, you get no sleep.
No, I'm just kidding.
What'd you say?
I said that sucks.
That sucks. So,
but it's good at the same time, you know.
Sucks, yeah. No, it's a rough first week. It's a joyous occasion, but it's an exhausting occasion. Jordan the man, how are you doing? We're remote here. It's just the two of us. This is actually history. This is the first podcast ever, I think, that Mr. McSpicy's not been on for the XoneBros.
Yeah, he has had perfect attendance up until this point.
Yeah, that is true. Beast Brand A says, "Where's the Lion King like photo of him holding the baby off the cliff?" One is incoming shortly. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here. Everybody who has decided to join us live in chat over on YouTube, thank you. If you're listening to us after this has been recorded, welcome. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Have a great day. We've got a couple of big news stories that dropped this week. The first one that I really want to talk about is Microsoft's Phil Spencer getting the Lifetime Achievement Award. And it's
presented by Todd Howard.
Yeah,
that's
how awesome is that? Well deserved for Phil Spencer. Here's what the DICE Awards and Academy of Interactive Arts had to say about it. They said, quote, "Phil Spencer has demonstrated both passion and leadership throughout his entire career at Microsoft. He's responsible for countless impactful and pivotal initiatives that have reverberated throughout the entire gaming industry. On behalf of the Academy's Board of Directors, we are looking forward to celebrating Spencer's important impact on video game history by presenting him with our Lifetime Achievement Award." Jordan the man, well deserved. What are your thoughts, Phil Spencer, the man, the myth, the legend?
No, I think this is really cool. And it's actually interesting. They don't actually do a Lifetime Achievement Award every year. Has there only been 3 people that have gotten it so far? I think the creators, the creator of PlayStation, and then I think the people who basically the people that were for Nintendo America, I forget their names, but weren't they so it's not something they give every year. So it's quite an award, but no, I think it's well deserved. I mean, he's done countless things before he became the CEO of Xbox, and since he's been the CEO of Xbox, I mean, Xbox wouldn't be what it is today without him. Via having doing the most powerful console stuff, right, with the Xbox One X and then the Series X. Pushing boundaries in gaming like Game Pass or cloud gaming, that's all under his leadership. So I think, I mean, like I said, I don't think Xbox would be what it is today without him being in place, especially when it comes to like things like Game Pass and stuff like that. So
where do you think? Here's a question that I have. Where do you think Xbox would be if he didn't come on? Do you think Xbox would still exist? Because it was getting mocked pretty much. I mean, that was when we started the podcast, the Xbox One, and it was universally mocked. Hey, this is not the right direction. This isn't working out. There's no games. Remember, we couldn't even keep up with resolution or frame rate on the exact same game on the Xbox One. Xbox One.
Remember, they slowly opened up like new cores on the processor for developers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Xbox would be gone because I think that would be foolish to give up that space. I don't think Xbox is ever going to leave. Even with Game Pass, a lot of people, or not a lot of people, but some people think Game Pass will eventually go away because they're doing so well with Game Pass and all their studios. No, I don't think so. I think it's giving up your position in the home, your position in the living room. I don't think Xbox is ever going to go away. I don't think it would have gone away. I don't think it would be as good as it is now. Well, I mean, it's hard to say, right? I mean, maybe there's other good leaders out there, but I just think he was the perfect choice for the time that Xbox was at.
Yeah, no, I agree. Definitely. I think everybody, whether you're a Nintendo guy, whether you're a PlayStation guy, you have to admit that Phil Spencer, what he's done with Xbox in his short tenure is nothing short of amazing. He's done a fantastic job.
And because when he came in, I mean, he's a gamer, right? I mean, I remember watching him at a Windows conference and he had like what was it, like 30, 40 hours on Civ Beyond Earth or something like that, and it had just come out. You know what I mean? Like I think the reason people were excited when he came in is because I feel like he looks at it from a gamer perspective, and that's what I think that's what's led Xbox to having the successful past few years that it's had.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. The thing that stood out to me in this announcement from for the Lifetime Achievement Award is they're looking forward to celebrating Spencer's important impact on video game history, and that his pivotal initiatives that have reverberated throughout the entire gaming industry. Today we got a couple articles, and yesterday a couple articles talking about how Phil Spencer had to fight for this idea of Game Pass, that it wasn't initially seen as very popular, even with inside of Microsoft, a lot of question marks. We know outside of Microsoft there was definitely question marks in the gaming industry, and now it seems inevitable that that's the direction that we're going.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, and I can see that even coming from inside Microsoft, right? Because you have a formula that works, and you're essentially changing that formula by making it a subscription-based service.
Yeah.
And there may be a lot of worry from developers, like, well, if I put my game on here, will I make as much, profit or whatever? But I mean, it's been proven that it helps pretty much all developers being on Game Pass just because of the exposure alone. I mean, look at us. We have played games that we would have never otherwise played because of Game Pass.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We do get a couple good comments here in chat. David Brownfield says Phil literally saved Xbox. He refocused on games, expanding the ecosystem, and Game Pass. And in that same vein, Patrick Ridico writes in and says Game Pass was also a savior. The one's launch was indeed rough. Absolutely, completely agree.
Yeah,
we did get some super chats here real quick. Let's talk about those. Spicy just got a big lump of gamer kryptonite, aka a new baby. His Xbox will be off for at least 90 days. That's from Super Shocker. Thank you very much, Super Shocker, for the super chat. It is going to be interesting. Spicy actually wrote in a really good question regarding new fatherhood and baby and beast. Thank you for the super chat, super sticker as well. Let's actually read Spicy's question, shall we?
Real quick before we jump into that, even when you look at other stuff that Xbox, I mean, yes, they're with the purchases they made with Game Pass, with the One X and the Series S, which, remember, a lot of people were at least kind of on the media side of things or on our side of things. I don't know how it was internally for Xbox, but even they were like, oh, that's not a smart idea. Why would you have a less powerful console? When it turns out that was actually a really good idea, because it gets more people into gaming, and it's not necessarily, I mean, it is a less powerful console, but from what we've seen, it only downgrades the resolution. I mean, you're just, instead of playing at 4K 60, you're playing at 1440. You have one, we've done tests on it, and it's beautiful. It plays really well. I mean, if you're looking for that higher end stuff, of course the Series X for you is for you. But so not only that, and then thinking about what they've done with the adaptive controller, I mean, I think that's a good point. That brought accessibility to a whole new level for a whole bunch of new gamers with different accessibility options that they can use. I mean, I think not only just games and Game Pass and building really good consoles, but on the other end, I mean, bringing in Bethesda, obviously we just got Activision Blizzard, and then the adaptive controller. He's done quite a lot in the... How long has it been? It's 2013, right? So 8 years.
Yeah, really quick. And it wasn't even 2013. He came in the year after. Was it the year after or 2 years after? I think it was the year after.
So 2013 was the launch of Xbox One. So he was probably shortly after that. So I mean, it's relatively a short amount of time. Look what he's done in relatively a short amount of time.
Oh yeah.
But no, I like I said, I think he was the right person for the job at the right time.
Again, well-deserved. Congratulations to Phil Spencer. We here at the XoneBros really like him and think he's doing a fantastic job.
I met him once in person.
Did you get an autograph?
Actually, you can kind of see it right there. It's framed. Yeah, that's a big poster. It's an autograph of Phil Spencer. He signed it P3. His cologne he was wearing, me and McSpicy, and I think was Fitzy with it. I don't know. He smelled really nice. So that's what success smells like. Apparently,
he smelled like success. He smelled like innovation.
Yeah, it was impressive.
Smell of innovation. Before we actually move on to Mr. McSpicy's, I do want to take a minute. You brought up the Activision acquisition, most recent, and a lot of people have been saying, "Oh, Xbox has to be careful. They're becoming a monopoly." And I've been reading a lot about it this week and seeing multiple opinions. And I think if people don't realize, we always think of like big AAA games, these blockbuster hits. We don't realize how big the gaming industry is and how healthy the gaming industry is. It's not, Xbox is not even close. Xbox could buy Square Enix, Xbox could buy EA, and it still wouldn't even be close to a monopoly when you look at the overall gaming industry as a whole. It's good signal to see where we're at. A good reminder, just how healthy the gaming industry is. And new developers, new publishers popping up every single day. It's fantastic. It's gonna be exciting to see where we're at in the next 5 years.
And from all over the world. I mean, you have developers. Who was the developer of that one game with Henry? I always forget the name of it. Henry, yeah, that game.
Nordic didn't Nordic Games buy them?
I don't know what I forget. I even forget the name of that game. But they're just a small studio that made a big impact,
Kingdom
right?
Come Deliverance is the game,
yeah, Kingdom Come Deliverance. Thank you. Yeah. And then look at. I mean, a lot of people don't think about this now, but look at like CD Projekt Red. I mean, they're from Poland. I think they're pretty much the only game developer there. You know what I mean? Like look at, it's just really cool to see all these game developers being able to pop up all over the world, all different sizes, you know.
Yeah, speaking of CD Projekt Red, we're getting close to getting that Series X upgrade for CD Projekt Red.
Man, I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
They're
working on something, I guess.
I am very excited for that. When that drops, I will be jumping back into Cyberpunk.
Yeah, it'll be really fun to go back and do a few things, maybe play the different storylines of Cyberpunk. It's a shame how that thing launched, but yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be nice to go back and at least have it look pretty.
I don't know. I've been keeping up with it. Some big updates. Looks like some stuff has been fixed, and we've got some DLC coming for it.
I think what's going to happen, this is just my prediction. I think basically what's going to happen with Cyberpunk, I don't think they're going to give up on it. I don't think they can. I think they need to show that they're willing to work on it and fix it. I think what's going to happen is they're basically going to have a Cyberpunk 2.0 with either some massive expansion or something that basically changes the entire game. I think that's what they're going to do with Cyberpunk. What I'm actually more excited about now is when they bring an upgrade to The Witcher, because that'll be a fun game to go back to and play, because they also said that they're going to do a Series X version of The Witcher, which I think will be awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that would be really cool. Did that news drop this week? They were talking about that. I saw that headline somewhere. I just read it. Anyways, regardless, let's get to Mr. McSpicy's question since he's not here. First time, it's historic. Again, for those of you just tuning in, Mr. McSpicy had his child this week. So huge congratulations to him and Mrs. McSpicy. Congrats to both of them. Here's what Mr. McSpicy wrote in and asked. He said, Mini McSpicy showed up this week. My new baby boy has arrived. He says, I find myself trying to min-max fatherhood just like in gaming. I find myself figuring out the most effective and efficient way to do things, i.e. best diaper techniques, perfection in milk temperatures, straight out of the teat, and the perfect
body knows the perfect temperature.
Body knows what the body knows. The perfect swaddle, etc. My wife told me I'm treating fatherhood like I play Stardew Valley. I'm an Excel sheet gamer for sure, and I've never been more proud to hear that. Here's my question. He says, how have you guys min-maxed fatherhood? How has your gaming habits helped you be a better dad? Jord the man, how has gaming habits helped you be a better father? That's a good question.
Persistence. You know, dude, I played a lot of Dark Souls games, man. You can't just give up on boss one. You know what I mean?
Children are like Dark Souls.
Yeah, no, they are, dude. No, that's actually a good analogy. And those with kids that have played Dark Souls might agree. You know, different stages of your child's life is a Dark Souls boss. And you just have to have that. You got to understand the strategy. You got to have that. You got to have that persistence, and you'll beat it.
That's a good.
Actually, when they're young, it's different. When they're like new, you know, like brand new. Now for me, it's super fun because gaming. Even my little girl who's younger. We're all playing the new Pokemon game together, and they love it. Like they're glued to the screen. They actually understand like that we're throwing Pokeballs and catching Pokemon. They have their favorite ones. So as they gotten a little older, it's been nice in the respect that they can actually play with me. But no, gaming persistence, because you have to be persistent in some of these games. You know, do you just give up when you lose? No, Get right back at it.
That's a good answer. I would have to say mine is gaming logic. Like, so, in gaming logic, like, all right, they want me to go this way, but I got to turn left to find the thing. Comes up all the time with kids. Gaming logic. Whether it's like, okay, how do I make something as entertaining as I can to keep these kids quiet for the next 2 hours?
Yeah.
Gaming logic. That's it. That's my answer. Gaming logic has helped me be a better dad.
When it comes to the swaddling and the diapers, the swaddling, they actually have, if you want to call it a cheat code, but basically auto swaddlers.
Oh yeah, I have one of those.
They're like Velcro. They're great. Yeah, they can't get out of those things. They're great. It's basically Game Shark for swaddles.
It's Game Shark. It's cheat code.
And then as for diapers, the unfortunate truth is it doesn't matter how good you are, they're gonna blow out of that thing, man. It's just gonna happen. Unfortunately, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, it's like Stardew Valley. No matter how good your sprinkler system is.
Yes, there's gonna something's gonna happen.
Anyways, congratulations again to the Spicy.
Yeah, very cool.
Question. Spicy's actually here in chat, so I'm sure it's kind of weird. It might be weird for him just listening in.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Grand Theft Auto. Some big news dropping earlier today about Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 6 has actually been confirmed. We figured, we've known, but it was confirmed today. That Grand Theft Auto 6 is being worked on.
Yeah, and what's interesting is, no surprise. Obviously they're going to move on to the next thing, which will be a Grand Theft Auto game. Anyway, but they said they're well underway. So, and it seems like they've been working on this, and there's been rumors here and there. It seems like they've been working on this for a while. So I don't know how far it is in development. I don't know what their definition of well underway means.
Yeah.
But I honestly, like, if it were, as of right now, I still don't think we're going to get this game. I would say, holiday 2023 at the earliest, but I would even say that I think sometime in 2024 is when we're going to see the next Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, let me read the tweet from Rockstar real quick. They tweeted out, many of you have been asking about a new entry in Grand Theft Auto series. With every new project, Rockstar says, our goal is always to significantly move beyond what we previously delivered. We're pleased to confirm that active development for the next entry in the series is underway. We look forward to sharing more as soon as we are ready, so please stay tuned to the Rockstar Newswire for official details. On behalf of our entire team, we thank you for all your support and cannot wait to step into the future with you. I agree with you, Jordan. I think this means they're ready to show something.
Did it say underway or well underway?
It just said underway.
I thought it said well underway.
The next entry in the series is underway, but I think in the subsequent tweet they talked about they look forward to sharing. I think it means they've got something. I think it is well underway. There's no doubt. It takes years for these things to be developed. If they were just starting now, we wouldn't be getting it till 2030. So
yeah,
there's no way. They also talked about how they want to push well beyond what previously came. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5 is one fantastic game. Where do you want to see them go with Grand Theft Auto?
So it's hard. What's cool about Rockstar is even with Red Dead to Red Dead 2 or even the Grand Theft Autos, they always, like you said, they go beyond what they've previously done. They always do something new or they try something new. So I don't know. Do I want to see a whole brand new city? Like somewhere we've never been before? Do I want to see something like we can go to multiple cities? Like we can go to Liberty City and Vice City or San Andreas, like me personally, I loved Vice City, which is based off Miami. I think that was one of the coolest aesthetics. I would love to go back there, but a part of me also wants something like completely new. Like none of this. We've been to San Andreas, Liberty City, like just something completely new.
So you don't necessarily want a connection between the stories at all, just completely separate standalone story.
I guess you can connect the stories somehow if you want, but I'm talking like map wise, gameplay wise. I would, as if I had to pick one, I'd probably pick Vice City, like I said, because I really liked Vice City and Miami, or it's based off Miami. But I don't know. I kind of want to see something like completely new, like a city I've never been to before. Not Liberty City, not San Andreas, not Vice. I kind of want to see something completely new from
what was Vice City modeled after?
Miami.
Miami is Vice City.
Yeah.
Has they ever done like a New York
That was Liberty City.
Liberty City was New York, and then San Andreas obviously is
Los
California.
Angeles.
Yeah.
So no,
And
yeah, I
people-
would.
You go
I
to
mean,
Texas? I don't know. Where do you go? Those
Paris,
like
Paris,
all the
Tokyo. Some, I don't know. I don't know. I just
No, I think you stay in the U.S. I don't think you go overseas.
I don't think there's much left. Then Houston, I guess you're right. Texas, we go to Texas next.
Detroit might be cool.
Detroit, yeah.
I mean, they're
St. Louis?
fictional cities.
Yeah, but they're based off real cities, right? So
yeah. Psychotic says I would love to see a New England scene. Yeah, East Coast.
Yeah.
That
East
might
Coast.
be cool. Yeah,
No, I don't. I mean, Grand Theft Auto always really. I'm not worried about Rockstar under delivering. I mean, even with Red Dead 2, I wish it had a little bit more fun, like Red Dead 1 had, with some of the characters. But I still really enjoyed Red Dead 2. I mean, I've never been disappointed with a Rockstar game. So whatever they do, I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. But it would be kind of cool to do something completely new, something we've never seen before.
Yeah, Brian F has
City-wise,
a suggestion. He says, why not visit some modern day versions of Red Dead cities and towns?
Yeah. Oh, and actually, another Ryan Cage, New Orleans. That wouldn't be a bad one.
Oh, New Orleans would be
actually,
cool.
because you kind of have a lot of different districts within New. You know what I mean? Like that would be cool. Yeah.
Cool culture, cool vibe.
Yeah.
New Orleans, Ryan Cage.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. No, good one. Yeah, I personally, I would like to see something new. Although I do love, although as much as I'd love to see something new, it would be cool having like how in GTA 5 you basically switched between 3 characters. Imagine being able to do that between cities. You know what I mean? Maybe not in the same way where you zoom out and zoom back in, but being able to go to the airport and fly to San Andreas from Liberty City. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
2 different missions, like.
Anyway, is the next title? They've not officially named it. Do we get Grand Theft Auto Infinite?
Yeah.
Or Forever or Eternal?
Yeah.
Anything
I don't know.
like
Well,
that?
and will it be a number? Will it just be a title? Because remember, you had Grand Theft Auto.
Be Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, it's called Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, and then it never changes. Mr. McSpicy says South America would have some good locations. Prediction: I'm thinking the story will be like Breaking Bad.
Oh, interesting. Like a regular Joe just needs more money.
A nerd that becomes badass.
Yeah.
GTA Salt Lake, says Darv. Yes.
I don't know how well it would work here, but it could,
Yeah. So here's the thing. Do you think so? Let me ask you this. Rockstar Red Dead Redemption. Was Red Dead Redemption 2 ultimately a disappointment compared to 1?
No, not at all.
Expectation. And can we expect that from Grand Theft Auto 6, or are you worried about?
No. I'm not worried at all. Rockstar has never, other than like the GTA trilogy that just came out, but I don't think Rockstar had a huge influence. I mean, I'm sure they've had people probably helping, but I'm sure they're focused on other stuff. No, I was not disappointed with Red Dead 2 at all. Like looking back, I wish there was some more flamboyant characters like Sid or the guy with the top hat who sold you stuff, just different kind of fun,
more tongue-in-cheek characters.
Yeah, stuff like that. But I thought Red Dead Redemption was really good. I mean, the way they took the story, it was definitely a more cinematic adventure.
Okay.
How
about with Grand Theft Auto, we jumped between 3 characters through the whole story.
Yeah.
Do you want to see more of that, or do you want to go away from that?
So I know like when you jump between 3 characters, you obviously have like characters that people gravitate towards. Like everybody liked Trevor because he was crazy and hilarious. You know what I mean? And then Michael was really good. Who was the last one? What was the last one's name? I forget his name.
Trevor, Michael, and
Lamar. No, Lamar was his friend. Lamar was actually really funny.
Starts with a J.
I forget his name. It's been so long. Anyway,
someone will tell us.
No, what I really liked because like for example, I actually like really looked forward to certain missions with certain people because you kind of gravitate towards those characters. But what I really liked about having the 3 characters is what they did with missions.
Franklin,
thank you, Franklin.
Starting with the J.
Michael
at all.
Yeah, Franklin. What I really liked with having the 3 characters was what they did with missions. Like there was missions where Michael would be a sniper across a building, Franklin would be a helicopter, Trevor would be grappling down the building. You know what I mean? Like, and you switch between all their perspectives, so it gave a really unique gameplay. What would you call it? Gameplay experience.
I think
for those particular missions. I really liked that. And I thought they did it really well. So I to be honest, I would like to see the 3 characters again, or different characters again. I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I think what it did was it paced it pretty well. It kept pacing because it would change it up on you. Franklin at times was a little slower paced, or Michael was a little slower paced, and they'd
Trevor was like always crazy.
Yeah, they'd flip you over to Trevor, and then you'd go back to Michael, or Franklin. Franklin maybe had some more serious missions. Then Michael had some family issues that you're dealing with, and then Trevor is just a crazy person. So that really helped with pacing and switched it up. So yeah, I actually think I like the 3 as well.
Yeah, like to be honest, the more I think about it, and it's mostly because all of their stories. I mean, I have my I preferred certain characters' missions over others, of course, and I'm sure everybody did. But all of their stories intertwining was actually there wasn't one that was terrible. They were all at least decent to good. But like I said, what was exciting is the gameplay stuff they did, how you switch between characters performing different tasks during the same mission was a really cool gameplay experience. And that mostly is what I'd like to see continue into the next one. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, right?
Everybody in chat is actually talking about Grand Theft Auto Vegas would be their favorite, and you could do like an Ocean's 11 type of missions against the casino. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
Vegas would be cool.
Isn't that basically what 5 was though? Heists.
Yeah, heists. Well, see, maybe. Do you think they at all connect all the worlds for online? Do we get a new online with GTA 6?
Well, that's what'll be interesting is how they do their online and what they do with their online. Does Grand Theft Auto stuff carry over into Grand Theft Auto 6 online? Who knows, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Regardless, it's very exciting. Grand Theft Auto 6 on its way. We figured, but getting that official confirmation.
I honestly, though, like I was saying before, I really don't think we'll see it soon. I think maybe next holiday at the soonest, holiday 2023, but I even doubt that. I think we'll see it sometime, summer to late summer 2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure they're going to milk GTA Online for as long as they can.
I mean, I think we're getting ready to see something. I bet you within the next 3 months, we see some Grand Theft Auto 6 footage.
You think so?
Yeah, I think we get a reveal. They wouldn't say pay attention to the Rockstar Newswire if they weren't going to announce something a year from now.
Maybe they just wanted to build hype, get their stock to go up.
A year from now, it's all about momentum. So
maybe
in a few weeks, you might get a little drip of something.
Maybe it was like an Elder Scrolls thing where it's like, yeah, okay, everybody, we're working on it. Calm down. You just want to do other stuff first.
No, it's not an Elder Scrolls. I think. Remember, Rockstar never has leaks. This was intense
because they fire you. Yeah, they have a super strict policy.
Yeah. Trevor was modeled after someone in The Office whose job it was to prevent leaks. That was the Trevor character, I'm sure. You don't link when Trevor's over leaks. You don't leak.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we see it December 2023, but I think it'll be pushed to 2024. That's what I think.
No, I bet you. I disagree. I think we're at least 1 year away.
I mean, you may be right because remember
we're 1 year away. Sorry, not at least. At most, we're 1 year away from a GTA 6.
Because maybe you're right because they did say they are restructuring their development teams, which is all their Rockstar Studios, to make games more quickly. I guess.
Yeah, they want that turnaround time
more efficiently. Apparently,
and they've also said, if you remember, the head of Take-Two, I believe, said that. They, with the next Grand Theft Auto, instead of this was also, I think it was actually in the same interview in which he talked about turnaround time. But instead of dropping this massive world, they'll drop the foundation and then expand on it as a live service, essentially, as a game.
So expansions kind of thing, or
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly. I think Rockstar will have its unique, or GTA will have its unique take on it. But I think we're within a year, 1 year.
Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting.
We'll see. Someone's watching it from Rockstar is like, those crazy guys. They're completely wrong.
It's not coming out. We just said that to, They're not even working on it.
Yeah. I'm not even
started.
started. They're just working, like you said, GTA Online.
GTA Online, yeah.
Crossfire X, some big exciting news there. It's kind of flown under the radar because we've had so much huge news. We've had Activision, Blizzard. We've had Sony, which we got to get into. Sony purchasing Bungie. Holy crap there.
Yeah.
And now, of course, we have Crossfire X, which is a big deal. It's one of the
Crossfire. Well, this is exciting because remember we were talking about what a year or two ago. We want a a Counter-Strike style game on the console. We thought that could have been it with Warface Breakout, but there was problems there that just kind of didn't hold your attention. I think we got a little bit of it with Rogue Company, which was a really fun game, a really good game. But no, it's finally exciting to see Crossfire. We got to play the beta forever ago. They basically went dark since then, and now we have Crossfire coming on February 10th. It's kind of confusing, but it's coming on February 10th. Crossfire X multiplayer is free to play, so everybody can grab it.
Makes sense.
Crossfire X campaigns will be pay to play, but the first part of the campaign, which is called Operation Catalyst, will be available through Game Pass. And remember, these campaigns are made by Remedy, which is the Alan Wake developer. So probably going to be very story focused, very story driven. So Operation Catalyst will be a part of Game Pass, and then there's going to be a second one called Operation Spectre, which will be you have to buy it additionally.
Yeah.
But if you have Game Pass, I assume you'll get that discount. So if you have Game Pass, you automatically get the multiplayer because it's free to play for everybody. You get the first campaign, Operation Catalyst, and then Operation Spectre will be a buy to play when it's
now you can buy the ultimate package, which will have both campaign and the season 1 battle pass and a golden Gatling gun, and that is only $30, which is not bad. My question is, so Remedy's doing the campaigns, but it's hard to know how good they will be. What you're going to get with, for instance, Call of Duty campaign. What am I getting with a Crossfire X campaign? That's going to be really interesting.
Yeah. Have they done a first-person shooter before? Not to my knowledge.
Don't know.
So Alan Wake, Control. I mean, they've done shooters before, but first-person shooters a little bit different, right? So, no, it'll be interesting. I'm really excited for this one. This one flew in under the radar. It's available literally next week. I'm really excited for the multiplayer because I think Counter-Strike and Valorant style games are really fun, and I think we need more of that on the console.
Yeah, no, I agree. So remember, this game is huge in Asia. It's 15 years old. It's like a Counter-Strike, like you said, Jordan.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting.
The original Crossfires are. This is a whole new one.
Yeah, it's a whole new one. Yeah. How does this do here? Does it take off? How does it do in the esports landscape? If it even tries to jump into the esports landscape here in the US, how does it do on Game Pass? Remember, for multiplayer, you're competing now against a Halo Infinite that I think Microsoft is 100% behind.
Yeah.
You're also competing with Battlefield. You're competing with Call of Duty.
What's nice about this game?
It's not like they've cornered the market. It is a saturated market. It is different in that it's Counter-Strike, but it'll be interesting to see how this is.
Yeah, it's definitely when you play this game, you're going to get a way different feel. Well, I mean, I guess if you play the traditional mode, you're going to get a way different feel than you would from like an Arena, Halo, Call of Duty, or even Battlefield, right? Because it's definitely more Counter-Strike. So it's much more precision, accuracy, corners, taking thing. It's a completely different style of game. Now they do have, if you remember in the beta, they do have a more modern mode, and that I think there is to appease a more modern audience. So, and that mode was okay. It wasn't great. I think that mode is maybe the one that'll struggle. You know what I mean? Because what it does is good, but it's not as good as at least during the beta. So this is all talking during the beta, right? So what that mode did was cool and fun, but I don't think it necessarily did it as good as Call of Duty or Halo or Battlefield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was fun, but after you play it a couple times, you're kind of over the initial.
I think the mode that'll shine will be its traditional mode. And to be honest, that's the reason. I mean, I'll play the other mode because it'll be fun, but that traditional mode, that Counter-Strike, that Valorant style mode, that's the mode I'm excited for. And I think that's where this game will shine.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to see. Jordan, will you do me a favor? Will you close your Discord? Like shut it all the way down. We keep
Oh,
getting dings from you're
oh,
getting
sorry.
messages from someone. Someone loves
Sorry,
you.
I'm a popular person. I didn't know it came through. Hold on.
Someone loves you. So that's coming out the 10th, guys. This next week. What day specifically is that? The 10th is next Thursday. So next Thursday,
Yeah.
look out for that. We'll get a chance to try it out. Let's talk about Sea of Thieves. Chad is actually talking about Sea of Thieves. Psychotic actually says if you haven't seen the new content coming in the next couple of weeks, check it out on YouTube. They've been making some big news, some big moves. One of the biggest news stories to drop is that they're actually getting rid of their dedicated PvP mode, Arena. Jordan, the man. I never played PvP Arena. Jordan, I know you did. I know McSpicy did as well.
Mm-hmm.
Good move, bad move. I mean, they obviously aren't seeing huge numbers there. I think the number was 2% of all their players played PvP.
Yeah.
That could be, someone correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's the number that I saw. Jordan, thoughts, PvP,
The PvP
and why did
mode
it
was
work out for Sea of Thieves?
the PvP mode was fun. I mean, I'm in that 2%. I played the adventure mode far more than I played the PvP mode. But I mean, it was fun. But I guess I get why they're getting rid of it. I don't know why they just don't leave it there. I mean,
Well,
maybe
it's 2%, and they said because the scope of adventure mode and having to dedicate resources to PvP just wasn't when only 2% of your player base is playing PvP.
I think they should. I mean, this is probably easier said than done. The reason the PvP mode was nice was because if you wanted to work on your Sea Dogs or your PvP reputation, you could go there to work on it rather than trying to sail around and find someone and then work on it. That, you know what I mean? It was much easier to work on it in that mode than it was in the adventure mode because that mode was dedicated to PvP.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. I mean, maybe they make a few. I don't know if they're going to make a few changes to the PvP in the world or in the adventure mode. But yeah, I mean, it's not. Put it this way, I'm not disappointed that they're removing it because I mean, like I said, I'm part of that 2%. I'm sure. I play adventure mode much more than I play PvP, so it'll be interesting. But I'm just curious what they'll do. Will they just leave everything the same and you just kind of grind the old fashioned way to earn that reputation for? I believe it's called the Sea Dogs, is the PvP faction.
Yeah, so here's
or are they going to rework it a little bit? You know, or I think the Reapers are a PvP faction too. Or are they going to rework it a little bit to make it not as grindy in the adventure mode?
Well, so they are bringing solo friendly raid dungeons so that you can do those by yourself, so you're not forced to play with players. So that might make it less grindy. Or that might.
But is that for PvP?
I don't know. No, not for PvP. PvP, the dedicated PvP mode Arena is gone, but on the mass PvP, I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. With the dedicated mode being gone, you'd have to grind your PvP reputation, which I believe is the Sea Dogs. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. I believe it's the Sea Dogs, which is the PvP faction. You'll have to grind it in the adventure mode, which might take longer because you have to, go around finding everybody. Whereas in PvP, it's there.
Just kill off that faction.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's why I wondered, are they going to rework it a little bit? Are they just going to just let it be a grind?
I see that's what you're saying. Apologies. So let's see. Here's the map. Here's the map that was released. Launching in March, we got Sea Forts and Pirate Legend content coming. 3 new adventures. A mystery begins.
Ooh.
Monthly Emporium content. A new Plunder Pass. Also Community Day. Then in June, that's the next piece of the roadmap. New ways to play and progress. 3 new adventures, ongoing mysteries. Then we obviously get the Emporium Plunder Pass and Community Day. Then in September, expanded role play and quest types. So
that'll be kind of cool. I
wonder
what they mean.
Do you think is missing from Sea of Thieves at the moment? You have the merchants, you have the treasure hunters. Who are we missing?
Well, maybe they mean role play and more piratey role play. I don't know.
No, I think they mean role play because it says expanded role play and quest types, and I think those two are combined.
Well, I'm more excited about those quest types because there's really only there's dig up treasure, deliver things, fight skeletons. There's really only 3 quest types. I mean, the adventures kind of help with that, but even in the adventures, it's kind of that similar formula, other than like boss fights. No, yeah, I wonder what they'll do quest types. That'll be fun to get new quest types towards the end of the year.
The Psychotic answered your PvP question, by the way. Psychotic says the PvP will come in with the Reapers now. The Sea Dogs are actually going to get reworked into a new updated faction.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. See, and that's what I was curious if they're going to rework it or if they're going to keep it, what they're going to do. So that's good to know. Thank you, Psychotic.
And he also says, so apparently there's a YouTube video that we've missed. Apologies, everybody. But there will be a role play in the form of a murder mystery.
Oh.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
I'm excited for the new quest types because that'll bring freshness to the game.
Fresh. So fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Hey, thank you very much, Psychotic, for your comments. Appreciate that. Guys, I have been playing. Oh, so Dying Light came out. We both got a chance to try it. It came out today, actually. Jordan, give me your first impressions on Dying Light. I'm only about an hour in. I'm at the very, very beginning mission.
Yeah, I'm still pretty early in the game because it literally just came out today. So we've been playing it today. It's fun. Like I don't think the first game was perfect, Dying Light 1, but it was a fun experience. I mean, kicking zombies, parkour.
Yeah.
It was really fun, and I think that continues on into this game. Obviously, we'll see as we get further in. And actually, unlock more mechanics and experience the game as it was intended to be. But so far, I like it. It looks pretty. You have your different modes. I think you have resolution, performance, and quality. I'm playing in performance mode because I usually do.
Performance, baby.
I prefer the frames. So, but even in performance mode, it plays really well. I have heard some people having issues with other modes, like dropping below like sub 30 frames on some of these modes. So hopefully that can help. But anyway, no, it's a fun game about killing zombies, right? I mean, it's not, so far the story is, like I said, I'm not super far into it. The story's just kind of there. I think this game is more of a gameplay game than story game. But no, I'm having fun with it. There is one issue I have though.
Give it to me.
The issue I have is me personally, this is just me. I think it's a missed opportunity what they've done with their co-op. So how co-op works is you can go into your friend's game. He can come into your game. Everything your friend does and like anything your friend picks up in there, he takes with him back to his game, but he does not progress his actual story. Which I think is a missed opportunity. Now you're probably saying, well, Jordan, what about the faction choices and the character choices that you get? Because there are choices in this game. In my opinion, whoever's hosting the game gets to choose the decisions. And I feel like that's how it should work. And I guess, I guess it probably gets complicated if you and a friend want to play and one person made this choice and one person made this choice. But I would just, I don't know. If you're both on, and maybe, I mean, again, maybe if I were to make a faction decision, maybe I don't know yet because we're not super far, but maybe if I were to make a faction decision, I get a different mission than if one of my friends made a different faction decision. But I don't know. To me, it's not going to stop me from playing the game because it is a fun game as from what I've played so far. But it's just kind of a bummer that we can't play with our friends and progress at the same time, because I think that's actually a deterrent to co-op.
Yeah, it decentivizes.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, I would love to play with you, but I want to progress my own story. So, you know what I mean? I think it decentivizes co-op, which is kind of a bummer.
So you couldn't even under that do a separate co-op gameplay because only one of you would progress anyways.
Yeah, so like your character, the person hosting the game would progress the story. The person who is, I guess, the guest in the game would basically just take his what he gets in that game essentially back to his game. So he would essentially get everything except the quest progression.
Interesting.
So which I think is a bummer because, like you said, it kind of decentivizes you from playing co-op.
Yeah. What are your first impressions overall, though? Like it so far?
Yeah, so far it's really good. I mean, I would go into it with a single player mindset rather than a co-op mindset, because when I look at this game, I'm thinking, oh man, it's gonna be a fun co-op game. But actually, unfortunately, it's not, because how co-op works. And like I said, I get that there's different choices that can be made, and that's probably why they did it the way they did it. Because again, I don't know for sure because I'm not super far into the game, but I'm not sure if one choice opens up certain quests and a different choice opens up these quests, which I get how it would be complicated. But for me, it's just wishful thinking. I would prefer it to save that progression so we could play true co-op with friends rather than just jumping in and not really doing much, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, so far I really like it. Again, I'm only about an hour in, so I don't even know if I can give first impressions on that. In fact, we were both playing it at the same time earlier today. This is Dying Light 2, everybody, that we're talking about, that just dropped today. The reviews are fairly positive. They're not without their criticism I'm seeing overall. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm playing so far. Can it keep my attention? I mean, nothing keeps my attention. I'm like the kid in the candy shop that looks all around all the time. But so far, so good. The thing that throws me, though, and I know it was this way in the first Dying Light, that right bumper, it took me forever. Like, why the hell can I not jump?
It's
that
odd.
right bumper.
The reason they do it is so you can keep your camera moving on the joysticks.
Yeah.
I actually just remapped mine to underneath on my Elite controller.
I did the exact same thing. Yeah.
But no, I'm with you, Dad. I actually think I might try and beat this one before Elden Ring. I mean, like I said, the co-op, to me, it's disappointing, and I wish I could progress story wise with my friends. Even like you said, if it was a separate co-op experience, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think I might try and go through this one.
It does feel like there's a lot of Easter eggs.
Like I said, I have been having fun.
Yeah, or not Easter eggs, but it feels like there's a lot of nods to number one because there are discussions happening right now where I'm at, and it's like I should know what's happening, and I don't. But it also doesn't take away. So if you've never played number one, I played number one for like 2 hours multiplayer with you guys. Where we were going around beating people with baseball bats, or zombies rather. So I don't know the story of number one at all, and I don't feel lost, but I do feel like I am missing out on, like, for instance, there's a character that that in the tutorial zone pops up right away, and then you have.
Well, this is a whole like different story, so that's yeah, you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, so but it's still an Easter egg. Like I feel like that there's a deeper relationship there that I would like to know.
I don't think there is.
But Dying Light, check it out. We'll play more this week and give you a more full review next week. So far, liking it. Liking a lot.
Yeah, no, I think I might go all the way with this one until Elden Ring comes out, because that's kind of my most anticipated of this year so far. But like I said, my only disappointment, and I can't quite remember, I think it was the same way in Dying Light 1, and even before that, Dead Island. I don't think progress carried over story-wise when you played co-op. But for me, I feel like it's just a missed opportunity, because this game would be really fun with your friend. And I think you put it best, David. It almost decentivizes you from playing co-op because you want to progress your own story, and it's just something I wish you could do in the co-op. But no, yeah, other than that, I've been enjoying it. The running feels really smooth, and the parkour, I actually like how he automatically runs over cars, and the way you grab. So far, it actually feels really smooth. It feels really good. So
yeah, well, it's on like a hook, so you don't have to hit it exact, and he'll grab onto stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Yeah. The problem with me is I'm currently hooked on Dragon Quest 11. It is so good. I'll tell you what's refreshing about it is so I used to be, when I was a kid, turn-based strategy was my jam. And that's why I think I really liked the original Dragon Age, because it was like this hybrid of real-time battling with this. You could put it into turn-based strategy.
It's how the second two Dragon Quests Dragon Ages should have been.
But I think that's why that's one of my favorite games and battle types and Dragon Quest 11 it really is a masterpiece. Like, it just does it so well. I've been playing a lot. I've been playing for like 2 hours every night, 3 hours every night. It's a game because of the animation style that I've been playing with my kids, and my kids are watching it and hooked on it. It's so good. It's so well done. Nothing feels tedious. Even so, you've got to travel between locations, and just like any turn-based strategy game, you've got to level up your your group, your party, and you do that by battling monsters or whatnot in the wild. And I'm never avoiding monsters, because sometimes in those games you're like, ugh, I don't want to level up anymore. Let's just get to the next story. And I don't find myself doing it. I know PlayStation fans have had this series for a while, and I know this game has even been on Game Pass for a while. It was always on my to play list, and I never had a chance to play it. And I've jumped in recently, and if you haven't played it, guys, it's still in Game Pass. Go check it out. I highly recommend it, particularly if you're really into turn-based strategy games or turn-based RPGs. Rather, this is a turn-based RPG. It is very good. I think it's one of the best that there's ever been. It's fantastic. Jordan, you played it a little bit.
Yeah, I never beat it, but I played it, and it was really, I think we played it on stream a few times. It was really fun. If you're into the, like you just said, the classic turn-based or classic Final Fantasy style games or classic Dragon Quest games, it's super fun. I like it. And another reason Game Pass is so awesome, because it's on there and you can try it out.
You can check it out. It was actually, I think, you guys playing Divinity Original Sin 2 that caused me to be like, well, okay, I can jump into Divinity, but I have this game on my, waiting to play list, which Game Pass has those lists, which is nice now too, because it's in there. My play later.
Yeah.
And so I jumped in and I played it. And it's fantastic.
And you're having fun.
I'm having so much fun.
That's what it's all about. And Japanese humor is always on point.
So funny.
It's hilarious.
So funny. It's really good. Let's take some questions before we get out of here for the day. B17 Barrage writes in a little bit more about GTA. He says, with the success of GTA Online, I read in Forbes that maybe GTA 6 doesn't have a traditional story section and online section. What are your thoughts on that? That's a really good question. I mean, GTA Online is a cash cow for Rockstar. Absolutely. It makes sense to me why they would try to merge those two. If that's the case, I do think that's a little bit risky, because is there a game that has merged that seamless transition between online and story really well?
I don't know. I mean, do you just put more online elements into your single player, or I don't know. That's interesting. It doesn't have a traditional story section and online section. Well, wait a minute. Hasn't Grand Theft Auto never had a traditional story or online?
It still is, because you have to actually go to Grand Theft Online. Same with Red Dead. You have to go to Red Dead Online. In fact, I would
say Red Dead is more traditional than Grand Theft Auto, because in Grand Theft Auto you had to use like your cell phone, you had to go out, But
but you're still having.
I get what you're saying. Do you think it's going to be a blend?
Yeah, somehow there may be a blend according to Forbes. I don't know. Like
a Destiny almost.
Well, okay, Destiny, like no loading screens. Well,
yeah,
it's a loading screen. The only thing I can do is go left and right with my flyer ship there.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
I mean, like a Destiny in the respect that, like, maybe you see other people in the overworld.
Do you go? Remember,
I've said this before. There's a club you go to. That's the social space.
Well, no, I've said this before. Maybe what it is, I've said Grand Theft Auto Online is the new MMO, and maybe GTA 6 just goes more in that direction. So it's more like a traditional MMO in the respect that
it may not be GTA 6. It may be GTA MMO.
Yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's they're not separated in the respect that as you're walking around town, it's not just NPCs that you're seeing now, but it's other players that you're seeing also walking around.
You see another player like rob a store or something.
Yeah, it's just complete chaos. Anarchy.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on how they do it, because I actually really enjoy the Grand Theft Auto single player experience.
Yeah.
So it'll be
your world building. You really don't need the online. In fact, I think the online part takes away from the world building, because the world, they do such a good job of making it feel so alive. So for instance, even in Red Dead Redemption or Grand Theft Auto 5, whichever one, but I'll use Red Dead Redemption 2 as an example. When you're in Red Dead Redemption 2, that world is alive. There are people living there, and it has this feel. And then when you go to online, it's like a lesser world. It's not as alive. Sure, there are other real life players there, but it's not as alive as it is in the single player part of it. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like Spicy,
that'd be interesting.
Spicy did say, if there's anyone that can do it, if anyone has the potential to do it, Rockstar can.
Well, I mean, okay, I really like Rockstar, but when it comes to online connectivity, they're not necessarily at the top of my list. You know what I mean? I think Mark can agree. that.
Well, he did say right there, as long as we can connect online. That's
See, you're right. Yeah, he did do a follow-up comment. As long as we can connect online, and that's the
asterisk.
That's the important part, because I don't think there's even remember Red Dead had issues. Right? I mean,
well, here's the thing too. If you're gonna do this merge of, you got to give it the care that Rockstar gave GTA Online and Grand Theft Auto 5. Please do not give it the care that they gave Red Dead Online.
Yeah, they just gave up on that one
because Red Dead Online sucks balls.
Yeah, and then it
actually doesn't. It's actually not bad. It's just you look over at GTA Online, and it's like, that's the party I could be at, but I'm at this party with my mom.
Yeah, and you're charging me to do it,
and you're charging me more to do it. Be at this party, and that party looks like a lot more fun, and it's free.
Yeah, and a lot cheaper. So anyway, yeah. So. No, I don't know. It'll be interesting. I mean, I guess we won't know for sure. I just don't. How would you do it? Like, how would you have that sing? I mean, you would have to give something up, right? I don't think you can have as high quality single player cinematic experience while adding other online elements, like other online things. You know what I mean? I think you'd have to give something up.
As far as, well, I think what you give up is exactly what you give up in Red Dead was the example I used. The world feels just completely different in single player mode versus online mode. Yeah, and I don't know that you want to give that.
Funny enough, in Red Dead, I feel like the single player mode feels more alive.
Yeah,
than the online mode. But anyway, I haven't played Red Dead Online.
It does. That's my point. Yeah, that's my point. That I think you're taking away from that, or you risk taking that away if you go online. But
maybe they do this. Hear me out. What if they did something, because it's Grand Theft Auto, so it's usually revolves around, like, crime, right? What if they do this? What if they do an invasion style mechanic like Diablo? Like, let's say you're robbing a bank, and then all of a sudden a rival gang gets thrown in and has a chance to stop you. You know what I mean? Like an invasion style, or sorry, I said Diablo, invasion style, like Dark Souls. Like Dark Souls has invasions. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I like that.
I think that would be cool. That would be cool.
I don't know if that's cool. I don't think I like that. Think about, okay. The worst game to stream in the world, Red Dead Online or Grand Theft Auto Online, particularly Red Dead Online. Why? Because players will come in and just gank you. That's Grand Theft Auto multiplayer. That's Red Dead Online multiplayer.
Yeah.
I don't want those freaks in my single player game.
But what if it's just random, Like, it doesn't happen all the time.
Player base of all time.
I don't know. See, I don't know. I think I don't know. It could be cool. Invasions are pretty fun in Dark Souls.
Yeah. Real quick, we got a super chat. Super Shocker, thank you for the super chat. He said, "Spicy, it took a baby to miss a show." And it did. It really did. Mr. McSpicy says, with how much GTA 5 made from online, I think next time they'll put the A-Team devs on it this time. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It was kind of almost like, let's do something online, and then it blew up. I think they might include the tools. So role-playing became really big this generation. Perhaps they include some of those tools for role-playing and role-playing,
like mods and
style playing directly into the game this time. Standard and stock. It'll be really interesting. T-Buck says, I jumped onto Red Dead Online exactly once. Me and my friends rode horses and roped each other for 15 minutes and never logged in again. That's about right. That sounds about right.
And the 15 minutes was probably fun, but then you're like, let's go do something else.
Yeah, but GTA Online was just better.
Yeah. No, it was. It really was.
Great question. B17 Barrage, thank you very much for writing in. Blake Densley writes in with a good question, an interesting question anyways. He says, what will be this year's disaster? He says, I'm talking No Man's Skies, Anthem, or Cyberpunk.
Oh,
I think out of those, No Man's Sky, looking back, is not the disaster that we thought it was. It was
No Man's Sky did I actually have it installed on my box right now, and it's an incredibly fun game to play.
They totally redeemed themselves.
But it was a disaster at the start.
Yeah.
Like, there was issues.
Out of the three, No Man's Sky, Anthem, or Cyberpunk, which do you think Anthem is the biggest?
Yes, because they gave up on it.
Yeah, because it's over.
Yeah.
They
At
threw in
least
the towel.
as for right now, at least Cyberpunk, and I do think CD Projekt Red is legit. Like I said earlier, I think CD Projekt Red is going to do something really big with it. I don't know when it's going to come. I think they're going to do something really big, like the 2.0 update, and it's going to have a lot of those fixes. It's going to add stuff, add new areas, new missions. Anyway, I think they'll do that with Cyberpunk. I don't know when.
Well, here's the thing
But
with Cyberpunk.
The thing
It
is,
was
they
still
haven't given
fun.
up on it yet.
Cyberpunk was still good. It just, if you didn't have
Well,
an
it was
Xbox Series X,
if it
you
was
were
good, you could
score
play it.
PC,
Well,
you were
I
screwed.
don't know if good.
I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed the world that it was
But
in.
you
Honestly,
haven't
I
played.
enjoyed the story.
You haven't played since. You know what I mean? Like
No,
you're waiting.
no.
You're waiting
But
for an
only,
update.
but the only reason I stopped is because I saw the PC version.
Yeah.
And I want that version on my X. So I said, well, I'm going to wait to experience it in all its glory.
I would say it had the soul of a good game,
Okay, I can appreciate.
but it did not have
It had the soul of
the
a good
body
game.
of a good game. I really like it. It's one of those things that's kind of hard to explain because like you could, as you're playing the game, you could see like, okay, like you could see it has potential and you could see what a cool world this could be. But the problem is you could see the potential and you could see what a cool world it could be and not what it is.
It was a
You know what I
butterface
mean?
game. It was a butterface game.
Yeah.
Nice body, butterface.
Yeah, it was yeah. So I it was I mean I played through the whole thing and I beat it and there was, you could again, you like the hardest part about playing that game was it could have been a lot better and you could see a lot of potential of where they were going and they just didn't get there in time.
So to answer Blake's question, what will be the disaster? I think what those three games have in common that make them the disaster or put them in that category is the hype. So it's got to be a highly hyped, highly anticipated game.
Dude, I hope it's not a lot of games, but I mean,
what if it's Elden Ring?
That would be terrible. I
don't think it will be. I don't think it's.
I just play my Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, they have a track record already. I mean, in fairness, though.
Yeah, so did CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. I actually think R51 Gaming has the best prediction here. He says, I don't know if it'll be this year, but I feel like the Harry Potter game could be a disaster. I agree with that. I think Harry Potter movie games are always risky. And we don't know so much about Harry Potter, only that everybody wants to be in that world. You want to have that magical power. It's an RPG game, but it very much could be lame.
It could be that one. And see, I'm really excited for that one. And I hope it's not that one. But I actually think that's a good prediction. It could be that one. So.
Yeah. Psychotic. He predicts perhaps Fable.
Yeah. I mean, as long as they avoid what they did with Fable 3, it should be good.
And Fable 3 was my first game, so I enjoyed Fable.
Yeah, as long as they don't do that again. I mean, we're already halfway there, to a good game.
Yeah, Mr. McSpicy says game expectation versus game reality. If we don't get what we feel we are shown, we feel let down and upset.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good comment. That's actually like a
for gamers. It's when developers.
I feel like I would read that in a fortune cookie. Like that was actually a really,
We should create those gamer fortune cookies.
Yeah, gamer fortune cookies.
Blake, great question. Thank you very much for writing in. Mr. Fripp has a good question here, and actually, let's use this opportunity to talk about the Bungie deal with Sony because we've not avoided it, but it's just not come up today. Mr. Fripp says Xbox exclusives are not as good. They're less than PlayStation exclusives. He says, honestly, what Xbox exclusive titles are better than PlayStation's Uncharted series, The Last of Us, God of War, Horizon, etc. Of course, this is only my opinion. He says, I know the future is bright for Xbox with all their new acquisitions. It will take time for Xbox, but seems like every PlayStation exclusive is better than most Hollywood movies. Why is this? I find myself liking the Xbox better, but I enjoy PlayStation games far more. Very interesting. Good question, Mr. Fripp.
I definitely agree with his first statement there. I mean, the Uncharted series, Last of Us, God of War, Horizon. We have the new Horizon coming out very shortly here. Even like the Ratchet and Clank games, like they're just. And didn't we talk about this last week? I think what PlayStation does good is single player cinematic games. The Spider-Man game could be thrown in there too. That's what they do good. Now, can Xbox get to that point? I think they can. Like you said, I think you used the example of Ninja Theory and Hellblade.
Hellblade looks like they're going that direction under Microsoft.
And I mean, we'll see what happens when Starfield comes out. I'm very excited for Starfield. Will those exclusives be? I mean, I don't think because of how Bethesda makes their games and what their games are, I don't think Starfield will be like a cinematic experience like a God of War or a Uncharted. But will what that game has to offer make you feel that Xbox has those hard-hitting exclusives? I don't know. I think Xbox can get there, but I do agree with that statement. When PlayStation comes out with a AAA exclusive, they more often than not deliver.
Yeah,
100%. And it's usually, I mean, I don't think it's usually quite an incredible experience.
Well, it is a movie. Mr. Fripp, you nailed it. It is this movie cinematic experience that you're playing there. I think Xbox definitely now has the studios to do that, clearly. When you look though to let's look at Bethesda as the example. What Bethesda is doing is best in its category. It's just a different category.
Yeah.
What PlayStation is doing is cinematic storytelling, and Xbox has missed out on that. Halo Infinite, while it has like a fantastic storytelling experience inside of it for a Halo game, it's not the same. It just feels different, and PlayStation nails that feel, that AAA world-class feel.
Yeah, no, it really is, and that's what they're good at doing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we'll see. I think that's part of all of these acquisitions.
Now this Bungie deal is actually really interesting to me, because when I saw it, I was like, whoa, big move, because that's will the next Destiny, Destiny 3 or whatever's next for Destiny be exclusive to PlayStation? Those were kind of all my first thoughts, and I was like, wow, good move for them, because Destiny, you may not think it, but still has quite a community, quite a player base. You know what I mean? And that's a good grab for Sony. But the more I looked into it, again, I don't think you spend money to share your toys. So to be 100% honest, I would not be surprised if Destiny eventually went exclusive with PlayStation. But didn't we read further into the deal, like Bungie has kept its independence from PlayStation? They've basically just signed to expand their universe, expand their product, kind of thing. I don't.
Let me actually.
It was actually a very interesting deal, and again, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised in the next few years when all the contracts are up if Sony does try and pull Bungie over to the PlayStation side. But it was a very interesting deal when we started reading into it.
Well, so here's what I think. I think Sony wants this for different reasons than an Xbox would want this.
Yeah.
Microsoft. And here it is. So I think Bungie was looking for this type of deal, I think, because rumor was that Microsoft had also been looking to acquire Microsoft. This was rumors taking place over the last couple months. It looked like PlayStation got it. And I think the reason that Microsoft didn't end up acquiring them is because Bungie was dictating the terms to a certain degree and said, we want a deal. We want to be on your platform, but we will remain independent. The same way that they did with Activision. I don't think Bungie ever wants to be owned fully by anybody else. I think they want their independence in that way. And so you can see, so this is on Bungie's website, our shared vision. And this was the graphic that they shared on the day of the announcement. So there wasn't even questions there. And this is what they said. One community, multi-platform. There's 3 numbers here: 1, 2, and 3. Under the first one community, multi-platform. Destiny 2 will stay on all current platforms and expand to new platforms.
But see, don't you think that's specific though? Destiny 2. They didn't say future projects. You know what I mean?
No, well, they do in their blog post. Number 2 is self-published, creatively independent. Bungie maintains full creative control and publishing independence of the Destiny universe. Number 3, same game everywhere. Every player should have an amazing Destiny experience, no matter where you choose to play. So I think, and this is what, and it's not just me that thinks this. It's I'm stealing these ideas from the greater gaming space, but this is fully a games as live service opportunity here. In fact, PlayStation, I believe, came out and said said as much, that this was to gain a foot in the experience, the expertise of Bungie as a games as service. They want that, they need that. And I think when we're looking at a response, I don't think this is a response to Activision. I don't think this is a response to Bungie.
Well, no, because I think deals like this are years in play.
No, absolutely. But what I do think this is a smart move. I think it's a smart move by PlayStation. It's in the same way that Microsoft leaving Minecraft on every platform was a smart move for Microsoft. That is just a moneymaker for you over and over and over again. And think about, let's say PlayStation just funds the crap out of Bungie and says, Bungie, I want you to be the best first-person shooter hybrid MMO experience of all time. Like, no questions. It shouldn't even be close. What do you need to do that? Here's the resources to do that. Imagine if Destiny becomes the new Call of Duty, popularity wise.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere for PlayStation. What does that do for PlayStation? What does it do for PlayStation's other first-party titles that benefit from the revenue coming in from a Destiny situation here? I think it's smart. I really do. I think it's a smart move. Congratulations to Sony. I think
yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see the future of it.
Yeah, not a move I expected necessarily, or I think anybody expected, but a good move nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, well, especially since Bungie got out of the deal with Activision, which, funny enough, can you imagine if Bungie didn't get out of that deal, then they'd be back owned by Microsoft? You know what I mean? So
I was trying to think of that.
Yeah, but anyway, they got out of that deal for, I think, kind of similar reasons what you said in the 1, 2, 3 bullet points that Bungie had. But no, it'll be really interesting to see what Sony and Bungie do with Destiny and, I guess the expanded universe of Destiny going forward.
Yeah, and I'll say this again, and I don't mean to harp on it, but I don't see any of these moves as bad. I know that there's a consensus out there amongst gamers that do. And I could be wrong. I fully recognize this is just my opinion, and I could be wrong here. I really do believe it gives it. There is both Sony, both Microsoft, and whoever else jumps into the subscription game, they're fully incentivized to create the best unique experiences as possible on their platforms to get you into their subscription service. In the same way that Netflix brought us Stranger Things. I don't think Stranger Things happens without Netflix, or if it does, it doesn't happen with the same quality. Even when you take Disney, right? And the complaint about Disney is, well, Disney's not creating anything new. They're just buying IPs and then creating, for instance, Star Wars. They're creating these Star Wars shows. It's nothing new. Now they own the story. Yes, but what they are doing is it's a movie-like quality experience, big budget that we're getting out of these Star Wars films. And I think we're going to see the same thing with gaming. And I think it's very exciting. And I think it's going to be exciting to see where gaming's at in the next 5 years. So,
yeah.
The end.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think that actually leads into the last question.
Yeah. Last question here from Brad Lecomte. Mr. Brad. He says, are independent game developers publishes an endangered species? Are these major acquisitions good for independent developers? So I think the beautiful thing about and the same thing could be said about film too. I think one thing that Netflix has done is look at the documentary space. The documentary space has exploded, and we have really good documentaries at a level that I don't think that we've had consistent in the past. I think if you're an independent filmmaker, you can now take your product to Netflix if you want to, or you don't need to. You can self-publish in 2021, 2022. It doesn't matter how big the opposition is. You have the ability to self-publish. So even if Microsoft is this behemoth and PlayStation is the behemoth, Steam is the behemoth, and Tencent is this behemoth, and everybody jumps in, as with technology and where it's at, you can be a one-man game and have success. In fact, some of the most popular, well-done games in the last generation were done by one person. They were independent studios. So I don't think we're ever seeing those go away. In fact, if anything, I think we're going to see more and more of that pop up as technology increases. It's better. I mean, you can now create your entire game on the Unreal Engine for a monthly subscription service.
Yeah.
That's not ever been possible before in history. So technology just opens things up. I think if you look at it in goggles of where game developing was 10 years ago, maybe, then there's cause for concern. But technology has pushed us forward to such a place that you don't need big developers in order to make a really good game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, well, I mean, look at games like, I mean, this is actually going back to a little while, but look at games like Super Meat Boy or even Stardew Valley, right? I think is it Chucklefish that does that? I believe they're independent. I think because of technology, because of technology, being an independent developer is better than ever and easier than ever to do, right? I mean, you'll probably solve your complications with self-publishing because it does all take money, but you have platforms like Steam or now Game Pass, although we don't know what it takes to get into Game Pass, but you have platforms like that can help get your game out there, in addition to things like ID at Xbox, right? Which is the independent developer program that Xbox has. And I know Sony has one as well because their independent games are very good too. But no, I don't think it causes any concern for independent developers. Usually what happens with independent developers is they make a really good game and then a studio like EA, which we've seen EA do, will come in and buy them, right? Even EA has their own independent developer kind of section in their company, right? Because I think like It Takes Two and I think like A Way Out were published by EA, but they're independent developers. Anyway, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but no, yeah, I don't think it causes any concern for independent developers. I think, like you said, David, we're at a time where you can be an independent developer because of what technology is.
Well, I think this just goes back to the beginning of the. I don't blame people for. I think that's a great question, Bradley.
No, yeah, it is.
And I think it's a valid concern. But I do think when you look at the market as a whole, gaming is the gaming market is so healthy. That this isn't even close to I mean, just look at mobile gaming alone. Mobile gaming is huge.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people, like if you have an Xbox or a PlayStation or a PC, you don't think of mobile gaming, but mobile gaming can be good to a certain extent. Some mobile games suck, but there's other that are really good. Like, for example, a good mobile game would be RuneScape Classic. I can now play on my phone. It's freaking amazing.
Freaking frack.
Yeah, it's great. But anyway, no, I mean, yeah, mobile gaming that's why I think Mark was saying a couple weeks ago when we were talking about the Activision acquisition, how King was such a huge grab for Microsoft because it's Candy Crush, right?
Yeah.
It's basically a game that just prints money.
Yeah. Regardless, what's exciting too is what's the next move? What's the next shoe to drop? What do we see?
What's Nintendo going to do?
What is Nintendo going to do?
Nintendo does their own thing and they don't care what you think about them. That's why you respect Nintendo.
Just continues to crush it. Pokemon is one of its top selling games of all time. If not, I think just became its top selling game.
Well, did you know Pokemon is, if not the biggest IP in the world, it's one of?
Hold on, I'll tell you real quick.
Fun fact, everybody didn't know that because you got anime, merchandise, games, all that stuff.
Yeah, Nintendo Pokemon Legends Arceus has sold a massive 6.5 million copies in just 7 days. So it's one of the fastest selling games. 6 million copies.
And I have been playing it the past 7 days. It's good. It's worth it if you're a Pokemon fan.
That is huge. Yeah. Big ups. No, it's exciting. Everybody, we are at the best time to be a gamer. And I think we've not even seen the peak. I think we're still rising. I think the peak is yet to come for gaming and gamers. And it's very exciting.
Yeah, no, it is. So I know we say that literally like every year, but it just keeps getting better.
Yeah. Are we wrong? No.
No. I mean, yeah, no.
Despite what people in comments say, we're not wrong. That does us for today. Thank you again to everybody for tuning in. We enjoy hanging out with you. For those of you who have tuned in and watched us live, we appreciate you. There will be no post show today, just because we're remote. It makes things difficult. For those of you that are listening, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for tuning in. Come join us. Subscribe to us over on YouTube. We do drop videos there throughout the week. So come subscribe to us. That's where the mail sack is and the whole shot. We love you guys. Thank you for being here. Congratulations again to Mr. McSpicy. He'll be back next week. There's another XoneBro in the house. It's a mini bro.
Yeah, we're filling out the team. Filling out the raid team.
Will inherit the future of XoneBros. We appreciate you guys. Dying Light is here. Oh, and we didn't even mention Rainbow Six Extraction.
Oh yeah, we didn't. We'll have to talk about that next week too. It's actually been quite a week.
Yeah, enjoy your week. We'll see you next week. Have fun in the gaming world, in Xbox world. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.